truck engine. I don't have to rev it.
Hey, it's Jesse. I just finished doing the first autocross with the S13, and I really like to do a recap video of the autocross. I think it went really well. I haven't been to an autocross in about a year, and I almost didn't go because I've been fighting this weird knocking issue um, with this engine. And I've a little backstory. This engine came out of my Nissan hardbody pickup truck after it was wrecked. That truck ran great, and it had always had this noise. I had assumed it was timing chain rattle. I have some other video I'm going to put out about the things that I've done to fix that, and I know for a fact that it is not timing chain rattle. I also know it's not rod knock. The oil's clean, and I've heard rod knock before. I know what rod knock sounds like in all of the various tones that it is. And this has really gotten me perplexed. I don't know if it's a rocker arm issue. I've gone through all the rockers, they bleed right, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, so I almost didn't go because of this knocking issue, but I decided this is not my daily driver. I don't really have to worry about it, and I'm in the middle of building a new or a replacement engine for it. I rebuilt this engine, so I have pretty good confidence it's going to run great. It's got oil in it. And it was a lot of fun. The S13 drives really good. In some ways, I like it better than my Z32. The Z32 fights you a little bit more on oversteer. It might be because my Z has much larger tires. This has a factory tire, wheel and tire combo, correct size, everything. The oversteer is definitely a bit more. But it's not overwhelming. Everybody talks about snap oversteer with S13s. Granted, I have factory power levels, and learning about suspension and whatnot. It's engine torque that gets transferred more directly with the increased anti-squat. So the factory power levels are definitely helping. And for autocross, you don't need a lot of power. I like the KA24. You don't have to rev it very hard, and with this engine having some sort of mechanical issue, I definitely didn't really beat on it, but it did not need it. It had plenty of power, just between $2,000 and $4,000 to do all the acceleration that was needed to get through the autocross course. This is a small course for a school sports car club, so compared to a SCCA event, much smaller. I've been to those with my Z32 previously. Biggest issue for sure, brake pads. They were giving, I don't think it was brake fade. I mean, the car was stopping, but it definitely did not reduce speed very quickly. The car is non-ABS. I definitely noticed that, or I was definitely conscious of it. I didn't notice it. The wheels never locked up. I never had any sort of issues like that. I feel like with better brake pads, my braking points would have been better. If it might seem like I'm braking very soon or very far away from the turn or whatever, wherever within my braking zone, it seems really big or a really large braking zone. It's because the brakes were not outstanding. And so I definitely had to have more time to slow down. Surprisingly enough, for these tires, I'm not sure what the brand are. They all four match, and they did pretty good. Factory tire size with they're a bit older tires. They're not dry rotted or worn out or anything like that, but they're definitely not anything super high speed, unlike the Z32, which has Polysport AS3s on it. The car is bone stock. It has full polyurethane bushings. All the ball joints and stuff have been replaced. I did that myself. It's full kit. Factory struts and springs. I know one of the springs is blown. I need to replace it. But factory sway bars. The exhaust is factory, but it has no cat, so that's why it sounds kind of raspy. Overall, pretty good. I'm very tall, so if you'll notice in the videos that my head kind of pokes out the sunroof, but it was actually kind of the perfect placement. I could kind of have my helmet out the roof and actually have a good seating position. I really like the seating position in this car way better than my Z32. I have the same issue with my Z32, and unless I have the T-tops off, I cannot have a good seating position. This one felt more comfortable because I didn't actually have to take the whole roof off. It was just the sunroof. It's a weird psychological thing. I don't know. I had no overheating issues of any kind. The car ran extremely well. Like I said, this knocking noise is rather unusual. Other than that, really, really great. I'll do a quick walk around to the car and talk about a few other points. The tires are a Douglas Performance GT. So yeah, they did pretty good. I had them at 35 PSI all the way around. I didn't do a lot of messing with tire pressures at all throughout the day. The car's a 93, but obviously single cam. That's because it came out of my truck. There's some obvious noticeable differences between the truck blocks and the car blocks, but everything's in there. You'll notice I even have, I don't have the multi-rib, I have the V-belts instead, and that's because I was trying to make this air conditioning work, and I'm still fighting with that. One piece stainless steel, or one piece ISR clutch line. Funny thing, I had to wake up extra early to finish installing the clutch master cylinder because I started replacing it last night, but for reasons I had to stop. Finished it this morning. Other than that, the car ran fantastic. I've made a lot of progress. I figured out why my pop-ups weren't going down and a bunch of other things. So the car's coming along really, really great. I have some of the interior out right now because I'm cleaning it. I'm not gutting the car. This thing's not going to become a race car. You know, I removed the carpet to get it so I could clean it and, you know, remove all the rat's nests and mice nests and sanitize everything. But you know, all that stuff will be going back in. I have actually the seat belts are out of my truck too. Did a manual seatbelt conversion. It used to have the power seatbelts, and I went to manual seatbelts. So yeah, it went really well. So I hope you enjoy the videos. This video is really just try to get some any information people might be curious. The one person I did ask about lap times, he was driving a Fiat Abarthe. I know I'm saying that wrong. I actually kind of say it like Jeremy Clarkson does, Abarthe. But anyway, he ran a 59. He was running solidly in the 59-60 second range. So that's for comparison. I asked the Bug-Eye WRX that was also in my run group, but he DNF'd a couple times because it was his first time. So I didn't manage to get any times from him. They will publish them later. Maybe I'll update the video once they do. But that's the only comparison I have for how the 240 did. So enjoy the video and catch you guys next time.